Oh, hello, and good morning, and welcome to another edition of Delta Media Group's Tech Tuesday. We're starting just a smidge late this morning because Facebook wasn't cooperating with us. It happens sometimes, but I think we got things squared away now, so we should be streaming out to both. So today is going to be another relatively short one, I think. What we're going over today is how you can use keywords. You can attach keywords to your customers and then use that to return a list of your customers based on a keyword. So the nice thing about this is it gives you another method of organization in addition to groups and labels that allows you to just better sort your customers so that you can know how to better market and better interact with your customers. So the whole idea is, the better a job you do really reading and interacting with your customer, the more engaged they'll be with you, and the more you'll grow your own brand. So that's going to kind of lead into some of our future videos too. We'll call that foreshadowing. All right, so into the DeltaNet. Now here we are on our welcome page as always. Now there are two different points really at which you can add your keywords to a customer. So first off, you can do it when you add the customer into the system initially. So if we go down here from our welcome page, we can click on Add New Customer here. Or we can go into our Customer Center. There we are. And we can add customer here. So we'll go ahead and add customer. And I thought of a good name for an example customer today, but it'll be, with the new movie coming out, it could only be Jack Sparrow, right? There we go. So when you put in your initial customer information, and like the rest of these, the only required fields are first name, last name, and email address, and the rest of these are all optional. Well, as we go down the line, we can add in our groups and labels here, and I was sure you could add keywords here. What have I done to myself? Address, city, state, zip, groups, labels. And we'll save them. Look at that. I was wrong. See, that's the nature of live video. I was mistaken. So we've added Jack Sparrow, but you can't add keywords there. You have to add keywords after the customer is in. So once you have your customer in the DeltaNet, we'll just click on their name over here in our hot new customers list or in your detailed customer list. And then in their profile section, we can click on Edit Profile, scroll down, and there's our keyword section. This is a very familiar page. I was sure you could enter this field when you had the customer, but look at that, you can't. All right, so now that we've found the keywords field, in order to add keywords to the customer, you just type in what you want the keyword to be, and you hit Tab or Enter, and it attaches it to this field, thereby making it searchable. So in this case, a good example for this, and one that we used in our blog post when we added the feature, is you can put in something like a certain type of property they're looking for. So in this case, we'll say lake. I hit return, and that adds a keyword for lake. So now we know that any customer that we know is looking specifically for lake properties, you can enter that here, or anyone that's looking specifically for horse properties. We can bring that here, and it's just a real simple way to attach something to this customer that's going to make it easy for you to pull them up later on when you're looking for every customer you have that's interested in a horse property, for example. So we'll save that. Done. So there we go. Now, if we want to run a search for every customer that is that matches the keyword we want, we'll go down to Leads and Contacts and Processed Leads. And while we're on this page, I know this is a page we haven't spent a lot of time on because a lot of what it does was replaced by the Customer Center. But this page is nice in that you can use it to return customers based on different kinds of criteria than you can use in that Customer Center page. And a good use for this is if you want just a quick way that you can return every customer that was, say, added to the system in the last 30 days so that you can look over them and then follow up with them. You can do that here. Or anyone that's made a request in, say, the last 30 days. You can bring them up here and you can go through them one at a time. So this is a way that you can really fine-tune interacting with your customers. So in this case, you can do it by keyword. Now by default, it'll just be customers that have made a request here in the last month. So that'll be checked by default. If we want more than that or we don't want to restrict it to that, you uncheck that field and then check any of the other filter fields you want. So in this case, we're going to do keyword. So we'll say show contacts that contain an exact match of, I think I saved it as horse, didn't I? Between, there we are, in roughly the last month. So this has to do with when the customer was added to the system. So you do everybody that is attached to this keyword that has been added to the system over whatever date range. And you can make this whatever you want. All right, so now if we update list, we find no customers. I'm just not having any luck at all today. Yeah, there's one. I was going to say, I tried this earlier and it worked. So, what this one is any match containing the word lake over this time period. So, what this is looking at is not when the customer was added, it's looking at when the customer's last request date was. So, the reason that our Johnny Depp didn't work is because he's never made a request before. That customer was added in manually by the system, so that's why he didn't come up here at all. So if you take a customer that has made a request in the past and you add a keyword to him, this will allow you to search by that keyword. So just to go over the rest of the fields here, just to get an idea of what each of these do. And apparently we're learning this together a little bit. So the first section we have contacts that made a request. So this is just the date they made a request on. The next one is the last time they logged into the site. So if you want to return customers that have logged into the site in the last 30 days and you want a list of those here, you can use that checkbox. Customers that were created between a certain date range, so this will bring up our missing customer. See, there's our Captain Jack Sparrow. We can search it by last name or first name here. We can search it by just their email address. You can search it by keyword, but yet again it's keyword only combined with request date or date of last request. And fee type, so the most standard convention for that is anyone that came in through the company site and was assigned to you will probably be a fee lead, and anybody who came in through your own website generally would not be. So if you wanted to get a list of that, you could do that here. And then to get a actual more defined list of the initial request source on a lead, so everybody that came in through your agent site or the company site, you can use this last field here at the bottom. You just select the initial request source and check the box, and it'll use that. So because there are checkboxes on each of these fields, you can use any combination of these two. So it's just a good way to really find specific customers or customers that match specific criteria. So I'm going to go ahead and log in to Jack Sparrow's portfolio account and run a property search. And we'll just pick one of our test properties here. And I am going to ask a question on it. Question. There we go. So now, I just made a request with Jack Sparrow. So we'll go up here, and it should be an unprocessed request. So far that's working out right. You like when that happens. We're kind of shooting from the hip here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it as processed. We've gone over lead processing stuff before, so I'm just kind of diving through this. So now that Jack Sparrow has submitted a request, and that request has been processed, if I go to my leads and contacts page and down to processed leads, we're now going to search by keyword. Cross our fingers. And there he is. So, because he made a request today, and I'm searching for anyone that has this keyword attached to him that has made a request in the last month, that brings back Jack Sparrow. So that would also bring back anybody else that matches that keyword and has made a request over the time period you suggested. So that'll make it a real easy way for if a customer comes to your site and or if a customer comes to your site and creates a portfolio account or makes an initial request there, and then you go through and you know these customers and what they're interested in, and you know specifically that, this customer's interested in lake properties and this customer's interested in properties with a fireplace or whatever, and you wanted to bring all those up at once, you could use this feature to do it all right here. All right, so that was just a smidge on the rocky side, but we pulled out of it. So as always, thanks for joining me, and we should have some more treats for you next week. I think we've got some plans moving kind of a different direction here, starting over the next few weeks, and start going over sort of lead generation type stuff, and getting away a little bit from the how-tos and more of the why-tos. So in any case, if you have any questions, feel free to send us an email or comment on one of the videos. If you have any suggestions for new videos, you can also leave a comment on the video or send us an email or give us a call. Thanks a lot for joining me, and I'll have something new for you next week. Thanks.